Hey guys, what is going on? This is Shawn from Fairweather Games. Today I'd just like to give a bit more information about myself, considering the initial trailer for our channel didn't really give that much information. So this gives you guys a greater idea of who I am. Before I start, this may or may not be a long video. I haven't really projected how long it's going to be, but I want to emphasize how this is my story of getting into YouTube and where I am today with it. I encourage you, please feel free to explain your story and make a video of it. Send it my way. I'll happily watch it. I'm very much a fan of hearing people's stories and how they came to be where they are. It's something I'm very fond of. Jake's also working on one of these at the moment too, and his should be up hopefully sometime this week. And while I'm talking, there's going to be some sort of game footage going on. It's probably going to be The Last of Us, maybe, I don't know, Smite maybe? Maybe I'll be daring. I don't know. It'll be some sort of game. So, as I've already stated, I'm Shawn, and being 21 years old, I've spent the last 8 years of my life wanting to get involved with something in the game industry. I'll discuss in another video that I'd like to do sometime soon how I came to really get on board with gaming, but yeah, just something involving video games, whether it be design or gameplay or game testing, something along those lines. It's always been sort of a pipe dream for me. Growing up, I always looked at my friends and relatives and I saw that they had a pretty clear-cut sense of where they're going in their lives, whether it was medicine, physical fitness, auto repair, welding, whatever. And here I was just spending hours upon hours, most of my days and nights and mornings, anytime I wasn't at school, just playing video games. I'm pretty sure my parents were pretty concerned with the whole ordeal, considering I wasn't going out and playing sports. I was just inside gaming non-stop. So in about 9th grade, I just told myself on the bus going home one day, I need to get involved with something involving video games. I don't know what else I could go into. It's just the course that makes the most sense. From there, I started enrolling in technical classes, a digital media technology course that I learned Photoshop, I learned Flash, I learned Dreamweaver, but I haven't really used that since, so that's sort of dried up, and a little bit of video editing in there, but not too much. After that, I went to IUP. I'm currently still enrolled in IUP as a senior in communications media, where I've done a variety of things like audio design, game design, some video work, graphic design, motion capture. I don't know if I already said that. Just a handful of different traits. All the while, in 2007 in the spring, I was able to get Verizon DSL internet, which meant I could finally check out YouTube. That was sort of the main reason why I begged my mom to get us off of dial-up, is just because I really wanted to watch YouTube videos. My friends would tell me about YouTube videos. I couldn't watch them. Being in a rural town, it took... Verizon was the first DSL, or broadband, whatever you want to call it, service that came out this way, so as soon as it came here, I made sure to tell my mom to get on board with it. Before that, I would just go to friends' houses and very rudely just separate myself, go into the corner, and watch YouTube videos for hours on end, Family Guy clips, X-Play, Smosh, just all sorts of random videos. So when I finally did get DSL, I would say within a week or two of having it, I would say I've watched over 1,000 videos of just all different types of games, all different types of stuff. Which, by the way, thinking of it, I'm still upset that YouTube took out the feature to see how many videos your channel's watched. Over 10,000. My original count is up to 10,000, and if I had to guess correctly, I hit that maybe, if I had to put a number on it, I'd say like 3 to 4 years ago. Yeah, it's been a while. I would say I'm upwards of 30,000 if I had to guess. I'm guessing 30,000, but I'm also going to assume that that's a lowballing it. In particular, when I got my DSL, I got addicted to these Kingdom Hearts random videos where people would dub clips from movies and stuff over Kingdom Hearts cutscenes. I noticed a lot of them had Invader Zim particularly as the dub. I'll link a few examples in the description. Eventually, I came up with the idea that, well, maybe I should just try one, give it a chance, see if I can do something along those lines. I'm not really sure where the idea came from or how I got inspired to make my own, but it just sort of popped into my head. So I went online, I started finding a bunch of Kingdom Hearts clips, a bunch of different audio snippets from movies and stuff, Adam Sandler stuff, Tommy Boy, whatever movies I was into at the time. And one day I just took about 12 to 15 hours and just hammering out the entire video. I was just in the zone, I didn't stop, I didn't want to stop, I just was in it, using nothing other than the good old classic Windows Movie Maker. You gotta love it. On July 25th of that year, I edited it on July 24th, and the next day, I uploaded it to YouTube, and it was online. And I just rewatched it before recording this, so that's how I got the date. I wasn't really sure of it prior. From there, I only made one other Kingdom Hearts random video, and it took about 5 months to get around to. I just got caught up in school and a bunch of other stuff. And so I uploaded it in October and only got a fraction of the views that the original had. I think the time span in between it kind of killed it. You can check these out if you want to. I'm just going to post links to any video that I refer to if you guys are curious. If I can still find it. A lot of these are old. I know my videos are alright, but I'm going to be referring to a bunch of other different videos. I'm not sure if they're still up. I'll see what I can do to try to find them. And so, I made a couple videos in between what I'm about to say. Maybe like one or two. One of them was on Prey. I'll link that. Another Kingdom Hearts like music video that didn't go too well. It was pretty shoddy. And maybe a few others that I think I removed. But then I bought an Xbox 360 out of it, like a very impulse decision. I was hard set on getting a PS3. I wanted Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy, and sequels to other games I had on the PS2. Which if I were still waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3, boy, that wouldn't have panned out well. I still am waiting for it, but you know what I mean. I was just about to leave my house to go buy a PlayStation 3, like I was putting on my socks and watching TV and just getting ready to leave my house, and I saw this Gears of War commercial, and it just blew my mind. Just the way it looked, it was so dark, it just looked, oh, just awesome. It was the Mad World commercial. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link to it. To this day, it's still one of my favorite video game trailers. I just immediately stopped in my tracks, I did a bit of research, and then went and bought it and an Xbox 360. No PS3 anymore. It just became my favorite game ever for quite some time. Just a unique experience and the way it felt, the cover system, the minimal menus, the great graphics. It just was something I had never played before, and it was so intense. While I was addicted to Gears, my friends weren't. So I just kept plugging away. I played the campaign upwards of, I don't know, 10, 15 times. Eventually I got Xbox Live and I just started having a wonderful time with other players for a while, just killing each other. Eventually I started looking up Gears of War videos and I found, I believe the name was Shadow Sniper. It was Shadow something. Shadow Sniper, Shadow Killer, something like that. They had a sniping montage. I remember the songs were like, it was something by Slipknot and then something by Avenged Sevenfold. I was really into that music back in the day. And I was just blown away. I was blown away by that montage, and then found another one by Nismo Joe, I believe his name was. I'll find him. I'll find his profile and I'm going to link it, just so you're curious. I don't know if he still has any of his videos up, but I'm going to try and find it. From there, once I watched that, all I wanted to do was record and just try and get good at Gears sniping and make it big that way. Just sort of be one of those people that you go into a lobby and people are like, oh crap, here comes this guy. Jeez, oh no, why? I know the Nismo Joe video had over 1 million views when I watched it. The Shadow Punisher is what I think his name is. Wow, I just had the revelation. Positive that's it. That's the guy's name. That video of his, I think it hit somewhere around like 200, 300,000 views last I checked, so I imagine if it's still up, I'd imagine it's somewhere around 1 million views or more. So I went in pretty blind into the whole thing, tried to get something to record, and I just tried home remedies for a while. In a feat that is horrible and yet brilliant, I was able to start recording footage with a VCR where I could actually just play my Xbox on my VCR and it would record it on tapes. If I can find the tapes, I'm going to find a way to record them and I'm going to put them online. They are awful. But I'm amazed that that actually worked. Even thinking about it today, it is so illogical. Don't try and record that way, by the way. The quality was horrible. I remember just static all over the place. The VCR lines would keep going up and down. Just horrible quality. Just don't try and record that way. Eventually, I stopped being stupid and I finally did some research and dropped some money on a Dazzle DVC 100, the little red apostrophe thing. Once I got my method of recording down, it took me like 5 to 6 months to record enough footage. I was never really all that good at Gears, to be completely honest. There were so many times, though, where I would think, oh, I won't record, nothing's gonna happen, and then, you know, I get to recording for 30 minutes, and I do something amazing, and I freak out, run, start recording, get everything set up, go, record. And then, for the next 3 hours, I would get absolutely nothing. No footage, just maybe one headshot of some guy standing still, not playing. You know, just something that was completely uninteresting. It's the horrible, horrible recording curse that I had. I ended up finally getting the video out right before Gears of War 2 came out, which I'll link that, but it did get muted, I think sometime in October of this year. Very late. This video is about 4 to 5 years old, and they finally muted it. They finally saw the video and were offended in the copyright violation, so it's pretty justified, so I'm fine with that. Plus, my musical tastes have changed since then, so it's not really that big of a deal. And so, yeah, it was all about Gears of War for a while. I would play with a bunch of people, got a lot of friends, and a lot of them were like me, where they just wanted to be one of those big YouTube names that played Gears of War. And so, like, some of us were really serious about it, some were casual. I took it very seriously with a few people, just trying to get as many rad, awesome headshots as we can. And then I started hanging out with one friend, and one friend in particular. I've never had such mind-expanding conversations and goof-off fun than what I have had with this person, which he's probably going to watch this video, and he probably knows who he is. And I just started taking his advice, and I started just hanging out with him and him only. I ended up losing a lot of my friends over that, but I still tried to do YouTube stuff. I figured I could still try and make it if I just get a few videos going good, and then just start getting some momentum going. But with Gears 2 not being up to snuff as Gears 1 fans had hoped, I migrated with my one friend onto PS. With Gears of War 2 not being up to snuff as Gears 1 fans had hoped, I migrated with this one friend onto a PS3 and I got addicted to Uncharted 2, where it was basically Gears of War, except it was very Indiana Jones themed, and there was a lot of jumping around, a lot of more acrobatics and stuff, a lot of cool stuff. Uncharted 2 is still, God, that is still a great game. I hope I can play some multiplayer of it still. And in there I made a few videos here and there. There was a lot of unfinished series. We did the hardest difficulty co-op videos for 2 out of the 3 maps, the co-op adventure maps that they had in the game, and then we never got around to the last one. It just, a lot of stuff that didn't go unfinished. But I still wanted to do a bit of Gears of War, so I'd spend a lot of time with a small group of friends still on the Xbox, and I eventually cranked out a dual-tage with my friend Frozen Comatose. And overall, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out, although I think I over-edited it to death. It's loaded with way too many effects and makes it really hard to actually just watch what it is. But I put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, and I still kind of just applaud how much effort I put into that. But then Gears completely stopped. Gears 3 didn't bring me back into what the original Gears 1 fanbase was all about, the community that I had a silent bond with just from watching all their stuff and their techniques and how they sniped. It never really got back to that level. There was like a golden age that I was just on the outskirts of and I never really got truly into, which is quite a shame. But I made these Uncharted videos, and then views started slowly decreasing, and my participation and my care for my videos just slowly diminished, and eventually I just stopped making videos. Apart from a few random videos that were just randomly thrown together in a spur of the moment, almost like a blindfold edit where if I was wearing a blindfold I could have probably done a better job editing. It was meant to be low grade quality crap stuff, just for the sake of doing it, just for the sake of like a middle finger to people that take it YouTubing so seriously. And really, I had nothing. I lost a lot of subscribers, a lot of potential viewers. And really, I screwed up my whole YouTube potential, and I didn't care at that point. It was just, you know, I was pretty set on going through college, and I was sure I was going to get a job. I'm doing very well in college. I've got straight A's, even though, oh, communications major, very easy, not a very tough major. Yeah, I get that, just shush. And this brings me to about 8 months ago, really. This is actually fairly recent. As I'm progressively getting closer to graduation, seeing constant layoffs in the game industry, plus the difficulty of designing games, in particular programming, is something that I have trouble grasping. I'm keep questioning to myself whether game design is the right field for me to go into. Like, the design itself, it's very tedious, it's very hard, but eventually, I think it was in June of this year, something like that, I stumbled onto the subreddit r/Let's Play. And I discovered all these Redditors talking about monetization and how a lot of them have living wages just doing YouTube videos. And that really piqued my interest at the point. And I realized how much I enjoyed making my montages, my Kingdom Hearts random videos, just everything that I made. It was a lot of fun to do, and it was like an abandoned craft that I let go and I needed to rediscover. And so, in the last 5 to 6 months, I've been thinking out this channel. I talked it over with my partner, Jake, who I've known as a classmate in our technical school, and then in the same department as me in IEP. So we've known each other for the last 7 years or so, and we started formulating this channel. So to wrap up this pretty long video, I'm going on quite an amount of time, which I'm sorry it's taken this long, but I really wanted to just tell it all. I kind of wanted to just let this all out, because I've never really gone into full detail with it, and I just wanted this opportunity. But to wrap this up, I'm coming from what was a potential to do well on YouTube with my first Kingdom Hearts videos, which they're still my highest viewed videos at like 6,000 views. I was very pleased with that back in the day, although I think back in the day I also expected it to be immediately like 1 million views. Like, you know, every video gets 1 million views. But like now I'm very happy with the success that that's had. I've taken that potential and I took it for granted, and I just kind of screwed it up and just started making goofball videos, and I made it hard on myself to try and get somewhere on YouTube because I didn't care, and now I've changed my mind and I do care. It's very unfortunate because this is something that I love doing. I love making YouTube videos, and it's the funnest work around once you really get into it. Well, I think having a job as a game designer would be fun. I think I would be ultimately happy if I was able to make YouTube my career, to entertain people online, to be at home. I'm a very homebound person, just making videos, making people laugh, entertaining people, and having a great time while I'm doing it. I think that would be the best course of action, the best job that I could possibly have. So thanks for watching, guys. If you stuck through this, I truly do applaud you. Honestly, this was more of a video for me, just to let this all out, just to tell people, like I said. I encourage you guys to make a video explaining how you've got to where you want to be on YouTube, or really anything for that matter. I don't want to limit this to just YouTubers, so like anybody, what do you want to do? How did you get here? And what do you think will make you happy? I do really want to hear what you guys say. I really love hearing people's personal stories. Jake will be putting up his video at some point this week, I hope. And as always, till next time.